3 days away from the shootout, Trina. Just thoughts leading up to the game.
Yeah, I think it's intense already. We watched a little bit of film today. Xavier appears to have some things they have to overcome, some obstacles, but I keep telling people it doesn't matter. We're going to get their best 40 minutes on Sunday. Injuries don't matter, records don't matter. Every play is going to be played like the last play of the game.
How has this rivalry changed or maybe amplified since you were a player?
Well, I think the social media attention, this event here shows you how much it's amplified since I was a player. I don't know how much I would have known because we were just sitting in our rooms kind of contemplating how we were going to win the game. So it is a little different being a coach, but I think it's awesome. And I think because of how we have to play in our conferences, this is a great, intense environment for us to play in that'll help us when we move forward in the conference play.
So your senior year, you led the Bearcats to a victory in your senior season. Just talk about how things have changed and how it's a different view of things heading into this Sunday's matchup now that you're on the opposite side of things.
Yeah, it's different because it's not about eating enough pasta and getting enough rest. It's now just about watching a lot of film, coming up with a strategy. Really concentrating on us though, making sure that we are taking steps forward in the way we want to play Bearcat basketball. That's being tough, gritty, and rebounding and defending.
How do you feel like your team has progressed from game 1 to game 7 so far, halfway through the non-conference slate?
Yeah, tremendously. And I think we have to chalk that up to the level of competition. The fact that we played 3 top 15 teams. I think it took us some time to kind of figure some things out, like the type of rebounding team that we want to be, the type of effort that's going to take. We still are dealing with some injuries. We have some key people out in the post and some guards. And people have stepped up and played some really important minutes, and I think that's been really good for our depth and development in our team.
So you're talking about people who have stepped up. Reagan Jackson is a name that people should really keep an eye on. She stepped up here in the 7 games, had a career day over the weekend. Just talk about what you've seen from her through these 7 games.
I think everybody knows Jillian Hayes is tough, like mentally, physically tough. And then you got Reagan Jackson who comes in as a freshman, and she's got this mentality that she's not afraid of anyone. And I think that we pointed out in Louisville that she looked a little hesitant. And the minute that I said that to her, you could see something in her eyes. And she's basically telling me, Coach, you don't have to worry about that ever again. I'm going to attack and I'm going to be aggressive. And that's what she's done. She gets to the free throw line. She makes threes. She's really proven to be a 3-level scorer and to sit down and care about defense. So really proud of her and how much she's grown.
Did I see something that you won your last one as a player? It was like anniversary today, so I thought I saw something on Twitter. Picture of you that on this stage. Did you win your last one?
Yeah, so here's the deal. I have not lost to Xavier, and I say I because it's as a player, a GA, an assistant coach, or a head coach. So technically going into this game, Trina is 10-0. But the reason we don't get into that very much is that's not what's important. What's important is that we're playing Bearcat basketball. But it is kind of neat, I guess, and you can boast about it a little bit as a Bearcat.
I mean, I might look at players now.
Yeah, and I think that they know that's how it's been. Like in the 90s, that's we won every time that we played. But times have definitely changed. Again, Billy's doing a great job over there. I know her record may not indicate it, but those kids are working hard and playing hard. She's running really good stuff. And if some of those shots go down, I think a lot of those games look really different.
How do you think your experience in this rivalry helps prepare for your team for Sunday?
Well, the hoopla, for sure. Look at where we are. We got people downtown Skyline enjoying food and cheering. We got cheerleaders out here. Obviously, you all have come out just to talk and to see how we feel about it. And I think that's probably the coolest thing. And then we know that when we go into these different venues in the Big 12, it's going to look like how our Sunday game is going to look. Right now, we're expecting over 5,000 people. And I think that it's important that they understand the magnitude of this game, but at the same time, understand that it's the most important game because it's the next game.
How do you think your non-conference schedule, playing multiple top 20 teams, helps prepare you for league play coming up?
Very much so. I don't know that you can talk to a team about how good a top 15 team is. I think you have to go play a top 15 team. Last year we played South Carolina, and I felt like our team thought we were a good rebounding and defending team. So I needed them to go see the best one in the country. And so we were intentional about scheduling that game. And I think this year, although I didn't schedule the schedule, it was a phenomenal opportunity for them to see what a top 15 team looks like. Moving the ball, defending, communicating, playing together. What we're planning on is that spills into our day-to-day development and how much we get better.
How do you feel like the team developed or kind of came together over the holiday tournament? How was the bonding? How was that whole experience for the program?
It's a tremendous experience, and I think everybody knows that those trips are costly, and so it takes a lot of people to be involved in order for us to take a trip like that, and we're incredibly grateful for the opportunity to travel, to be in the Virgin Islands, for the kids to be in a place that most of them have never been before. But from a basketball standpoint, we just got to watch them be able to get up and fight back. 3 games like that, back to back to back, and to be able to pull off a win against Kentucky was really incredible because we could have just dumped. We could have just said, hey, we cannot be any good anymore. We've given everything we had in the first 2. And this team didn't do that. They came back more determined to be good on the 3rd day, and that was really promising to me.
How important is it to have an event like this here at Skyline Downtown before this matchup and get the fans and the community involved a little bit?
No, it's the most important thing because I think we play this rivalry because it gets everybody involved, and we want people to come watch women's basketball. So kudos to having us be here and having us invited because we know that it's a growing program for us and Xavier on the women's side. So to include us in something like this so that we can get people interested in our game too is a really big deal. We're grateful for it.
How much coaching against Cincinnati last year, how much did that kind of speed up the process and transition from Memphis to Cincinnati, kind of knowing your personnel and having a similar vision for those kids?
Yeah, I think that it helps more with our young ladies than it did with us. I think there was a level of familiarity there. They knew that because we had scouted them and played against them that we knew a little bit about their game, so we didn't have to come in and evaluate them. We had already done that because we played against them. I think it gave us a level of trust that we just started off with and we didn't have to build. And I think just me being a Bearcat and them knowing that I will personally pour everything into them, and so will our staff, that they know that we're here for them every single day and we're going to work hard for them, and it makes it easy for them to turn around and do the same for us.
When you look at the level of competition in the Big 12 right now, I think every team in the top 100 have met. It's a really high level. How excited are you to get this crew into that conference slate and just test yourself night in, night out in the best conference in America?
Well, I'm excited for it, but obviously we are thankful we have a couple of weeks before that gets started. I think that you want as many practices as possible so that you can get your team as prepared as possible. But we're going to go in with the mentality that we're going to respect everybody, but we're not fearing anyone. The numbers that are next to a team's name doesn't mean anything. That means that's what they've earned because of who they played, and they haven't played us yet. So we're going to walk into that game, but we're going to be tough and gritty, and we're going to compete every possession and then see if we got a chance to win that thing in the last 2 minutes.